China has a plan to finally break Taiwan by stripping it of its last few remaining allies. And the CCP is using its massive criminal network to get the job done. Welcome to China Uncensored. I'm Chris Chappell. Things are looking pretty bleak for Taiwan, I'm sorry to say. But first, a word from our sponsor, since they helped make this show possible. 2026 is less than 100 days away. And if you look back at the goals you set, you would have barely made progress, especially when it comes to learning the skills you'll need to survive next year as AI rapidly transforms our world. Right now, Microsoft is poaching the best AI talent while spending tens of billions on data centers and AI development. 78% of businesses are already using AI. It's scary, but not this Halloween, not for you. Because I partnered with Outskill, the world's first AI-focused education platform. They're hosting a 2-day AI mastermind workshop for you this Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Time, both days. Over 10 million people across the globe have attended this training already, and many of them have used it to boost their career growth and start side businesses that make them thousands of dollars extra a month. This training normally costs $395, but Outskill is making it completely free, but only for the first 1,000 people who sign up now as part of the pre-Halloween sale. In just 2 days, you'll learn 10 plus powerful AI tools, how to use AI in Excel, Sheets, and presentations, how to develop your own AI agents, and how to automate your work to save time and boost productivity. And you'll also walk away with bonuses valued at $5,100, including a prompt Bible, a 10K a month AI roadmap, and a personalized automation toolkit. This is seriously very good training. Click the link in the description to register. Don't miss out. So, back to China's plan to finally break Taiwan. There are just 12 remaining countries that have official diplomatic ties with Taiwan rather than China. And China is using its vast criminal network to strip those away. It starts here in Paraguay. That might seem strange at first on the surface. Paraguay, under current President Santiago Peña, is standing strong on Taiwan's side. Last year, Paraguay said it won't break ties with Taiwan in favor of China, and kicked out a visiting Chinese envoy for urging Paraguayan lawmakers to turn their backs on Taiwan. And just last week, Peña said on social media and at the UN that his country still proudly maintains relations with Taiwan. But, like on a Kardashian's Instagram page, you know a but's coming. Behind the scenes, Paraguay is seriously vulnerable to CCP influence, thanks largely to widespread corruption. Recently, Al Jazeera's 101 East put out a documentary based on a 3-year undercover investigation exposing a massive, shadowy conspiracy happening behind the scenes in Paraguay. At the center of it is a Chinese businessman named Shi Dizi and his massive criminal Chinese network, including a software programmer from Fujian who goes by Lin Fan. Lin is no ordinary software programmer. Before joining forces with Shi, he worked for the Chinese military and Ministry of State Security. And these two have their fingers in a lot of different pies in Paraguay. Criminal enterprises? Absolutely.
Projects they are willing to talk about include a casino in Ciudad del Este. This is the license they say they've obtained.
卡西诺这一块是现成的，是直接可以合作。目前的执照不能有牌桌的，但是那些人来的时候，我们可以设一个专门的厅给他们玩牌桌，不对外。
Stealing? For sure.
所以现在
Lin doesn't hide the fact that the Bitcoin mining operation he runs with Shi is illegal.
所谓的挖矿执照，它对我们来讲不需要。
By operating illegally, Lin and Shi are committing energy theft.
Bribery got you covered.
买光，
就2万块一个，是这个意思。
我们是里面局长给你办，
是整个办公里面。
对，他会派私下的人跟你走，跟你跑。
And when it comes to bribery, well, Shi and Lin's influence goes all the way to the top. Shi claims that he donated to Paraguay's two leading candidates in the lead up to the 2023 presidential candidate, current President Santiago Peña and his main opponent, Efraín Alegra, though both candidates deny that they ever received payments from him. Which I'm sure is true, since you can always trust politicians. But it's not just about one-time political donations. Shi claims he pays them both a monthly stipend.
就是相当于比如贝鸟一个月是8000，然后下面的是另外一个是3000，还有私下赞助，不简单。
Man, I'd be pissed if I sold out and learned that the other guy selling out is making $5,000 a month more than me. Shi also has his eye on the next generation of political leaders in Paraguay, including the mayor of Ciudad del Este, Miguel Prieto, a possible 2028 presidential candidate.
Shi believes Prieto might one day become Paraguay's president. He says that's why he's carefully cultivating their relationship with gifts and other favors.
米给啊，我一个月送5箱给他。
没给我这是
是啊，那我就给他喝嘛。啊，不值钱。对我来说呢，一个月投资500块美金，我有什么事情的话就搞定了，是不是？
Unfortunately for Shi, Prieto was impeached as mayor earlier this year on allegations of problems with contracts, appointments, and irregular allocation of funds. So that might put a dent in Shi's political ambitions. Still, Shi has got some serious connections, and he's pretty cocky about it.
我朋友说的一句话就是说，这个国家是我还的。
Over the past 10 years, he's been using these connections to expand his criminal empire and influence in Paraguay. For one, somehow, Shi managed to get Humberto Dominguez Stroessner, the grandson of Paraguay's former military dictator Alfredo Stroessner, involved in his schemes. And by somehow, I mean ka-ching! The documents signed by Stroessner allow Shi and his co-conspirators to build a power substation and 2 industrial parks on land owned by the Stroessner family near the Paraguayan capital of Asunción. They also guarantee military protection for both the facilities and socio-political relationships. The industrial parks are slated to be used for scam centers similar to the ones found in Southeast Asia, so there's that. Although when confronted by this, the junior Stroessner denied knowing Shi or having any plans to build secret facilities. But he's also become the head of the Paraguay-China Chamber of International Development and Mutual Assistance.
3届总会长就是我们德才兼备、青年俊才施地仔会长。
And that's where the CCP comes in. Shi says that because the CCP has no formal diplomatic relationship with Paraguay, his trade organization is immensely important to them. Shi has been cultivating ties with Chinese officials since at least 2017. He also funded the Paraguay branch of the semi-official Chinese mouthpiece media Huaren Tuotiao, and works with the All China Federation of Returned Overseas Chinese, a United Front Work Department organization. He eventually became the CCP's go-to guy whenever it wants to get things done.
哦，是那个是习大大说的，习大大说的要安排人。
That's even more dystopian than the movie Brazil. And if you don't get that reference, go watch it. That flick is criminally underrated. Shi became so influential that the Paraguay government reportedly reached out to him back in 2021 to be the middleman for China's COVID vaccines, something China never did deliver on since Paraguay still hasn't severed ties with Taiwan. Though that may have been for the best. So if Shi has so much influence with both the Paraguayan government and the CCP, why hasn't Paraguay switched from Taiwan to China? The answer? Shi isn't ready yet. The day before the 2023 presidential election, Shi and Lin said it wasn't yet time for a diplomatic switch. They want the conditions to be just right before that happens.
其实我倒不希望他建交啊。为什么？不建交，我们关系抓得住啊。建交了以后，大家都冲进来了，那些打关系的中国人、打关系的这些大企业又多，是不是？
as long as Paraguay keeps saying it's pro-Taiwan, Shi gets to be the go-to guy with all the connections. In other words, he puts the mid in middleman. But it's only a matter of time before Shi is ready, and then he'll flip the switch. This Al Jazeera documentary should be a massive wake-up call to the world. Chinese influence is everywhere, and it runs deep. Stuff like this is happening all around the world, including other Taiwanese diplomatic allies like Palau. The same goes for U.S. territories like the Commonwealth of Northern Mariana Islands, or CNMI. In fact, let me remind the world that CNMI Governor Arnold Palacios died earlier this year after begging for a U.S. federal investigation over concerns of CCP influence and corruption. We still need to release the Saipan files about CNMI before the evidence Palacios talked about having suddenly no longer exists, like the Epstein list. I'm afraid that with so much time passing and so little news coming out of it, there's a chance we may have lost our opportunity. But let's hope that we'll see even more undercover investigative exposés on Chinese influence. When they do come out, you can bet that we'll help spread the word. And don't get left behind when everyone else is learning how to use AI. Be one of the first 1,000 people to click below and book your slot for OutSkills AI training this weekend. I'm Chris Chappell. Thank you for watching.